Welcome back to the channel. If you're into coins, collecting, or even just stories of unbelievable finds in everyday life, then this video is going to blow your mind. Rarest coins. Today we're talking about one of the most surprising coins in American history, the 1966 Washington quarter. Now this might sound like just another old coin, but one special version of this quarter made headlines when it was valued at a staggering $1.7 million. That's right. A simple 25-cent piece worth almost $2 million. So how can a regular quarter minted in 1966 be worth that kind of money? What makes this coin so rare? And how do you know if you might have one of these valuable pieces sitting in a drawer or a box of old change? Stick around, because we're diving deep into the story, the history, the minting details, and how one coin became a national treasure. Let's begin with some historical background. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design featured a portrait of Washington on the front and an eagle on the back. It quickly became a permanent part of U.S. coinage and has been in circulation ever since, though its design and composition have gone through a few changes. Now fast forward to 1965 and 1966. These were critical years for U.S. coinage because of a major metal shortage. Before 1965, quarters were made from 90% silver. But due to rising silver prices and hoarding by the public, the U.S. Mint made a big decision. They removed silver from most coins in circulation. Starting in 1965, quarters were struck from a copper-nickel-clad composition, and the silver era came to an end for circulating quarters. This brings us to the 1966 Washington quarter. On the surface, it seems like a pretty ordinary coin. It has no mint mark because during those years, the mint temporarily removed mint marks from all coins to discourage hoarding. More than 800 million of these quarters were struck, and they were spread across the country. So how could a coin with such a massive mintage be worth over $1 million? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and most importantly, an extraordinary error in one highly publicized case. A 1966 Washington quarter was discovered that was not only in nearly flawless condition, but also struck on a planchet that was never meant for a quarter. A planchet is the blank metal disc that a coin is stamped on. This particular 1966 quarter was found to have been struck on a silver planchet, an extreme rarity considering silver had been removed from quarters the year before. Whether it was an accidental use of leftover silver blanks or an experimental strike that slipped into circulation, we may never know. But what we do know is that this coin became the holy grail for collectors. It was authenticated by one of the top coin grading agencies, confirmed to be genuine, and graded at an extremely high level. It had full details, a brilliant surface, and no signs of circulation wear. When this unique 1966 silver quarter appeared at a private auction, the buzz was immediate. Coin experts and high-level collectors from all over the world watched as the bidding soared higher and higher. The final sale price shocked the numismatic community, $1.7 million for a single Washington quarter. That instantly made it one of the most valuable modern coins in U.S. history. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. How do you know if you might have a valuable 1966 quarter? First, check the date. It must say 1966, and it should not have any mint mark. That's normal for coins from that year, since the mint had temporarily removed mint marks between 1965 and 1967. Next, examine the coin's color and edge. Most 1966 quarters should have a copper core with a nickel outer layer. If you look at the edge of the coin, you'll typically see a copper strip. But if you find a 1966 quarter that looks like it's made entirely of silver, with no copper visible on the edge, you may have something very unusual. You'll also want to weigh the coin. A standard 1966 copper-nickel quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. A genuine silver quarter from earlier years weighs about 6.25 grams. That small difference can be a big clue that if your coin appears to have a different metal composition or feels heavier than normal, don't clean it. Don't polish it. And don't toss it back into circulation. Handle it carefully, store it in a soft coin holder or plastic flip, and have it evaluated by a professional. Coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can analyze the coin and determine if you've got a rare error or a possible silver strike. They can also assign a grade, which will have a major impact on value. Even if you don't have the $1 million coin, certain 1966 quarters with high grades or minor mint errors can still be worth serious money. Some high-grade examples have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Coins with die cracks, off-center strikes, double dies, or planchet flaws are all worth looking for. Coin collecting is one of those rare hobbies where you can still find valuable treasures in the most unexpected places. Whether it's from a bankroll, a box of old change, or even a coin you got back at a gas station, there's always a chance you could uncover something extraordinary. The story of the 1966 Washington quarter is a perfect example of that. A coin minted during a transition period. A simple mistake at the mint. A collector with a sharp eye. And a coin that went from pocket change to $1.7 million. It's not just about money. It's about history, rarity, and the thrill of the hunt. So the next time you come across an old quarter, don't ignore it. Check the date. Check the edge. Look closely, because that ordinary-looking coin might just be the key to a life-changing discovery. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable finds, and the fascinating stories behind the change in your pocket, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Share this video with your friends and family too. You never know who might be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and as always, happy hunting. Let me know if you'd like a matching YouTube title, description, tags, or thumbnail ideas for this video. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you enjoy digging into the hidden stories behind everyday coins, you're in for a rarest coins. Today, we're talking about the 1982 P. Washington quarter. This coin may look completely ordinary, just another quarter you toss in a vending machine or find in your pocket. But there's more to the 1982 P than meets the eye. In fact, one of these coins has shocked the coin collecting world with a valuation that reached as high as $1.5 million. That's right, a simple 25-cent piece, minted in Philadelphia in 1982, became a million-dollar treasure. So how does something like this happen? What makes the 1982 P quarter so unique and so valuable? And more importantly, could you have one sitting unnoticed in a coin jar at home? Let's break it all down and explore the true story behind this rare and fascinating coin to understand why the 1982 P quarter is so significant. We need to rewind the clock and look at what was happening in the United States Mint during the early 1980s. The country was facing rising costs in materials, and the economy was in a period of inflation. In response, the Mint made a few critical decisions that year which would have long-lasting effects on the coins produced, including the Washington quarter. One of the most important things to know is that in 1982, the United States Mint did not issue official uncirculated mint sets. This was extremely unusual. Most years, collectors could purchase mint sets directly from the government, which preserved coins in perfect condition. But in 1982, and again in 1983, the Mint skipped this process to cut costs. As a result, most 1982 quarters that survived were pulled from general circulation, meaning they show signs of wear, damage, or aging. That's the first reason 1982 quarters in great condition are so rare. But it gets even more interesting when we talk about the P mint mark. The 1982 P. Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, and it carries a small P on the obverse, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. This was only the third year that the Philadelphia Mint began using the P mint mark on quarters. Prior to 1980, coins minted in Philly didn't have any mint mark at all. So the P mint mark itself was still a relatively new feature, and that adds a bit of historical interest. Now, here's where things start getting really exciting. Among all the 1982 P quarters that were struck and released into circulation, a tiny number of them have become extremely valuable due to a combination of rare mint errors and outstanding preservation. The most famous case involves a 1982 P quarter that was discovered in near-perfect condition, almost untouched by circulation. But that's not all. This particular coin had what is known as a strong strike, incredibly sharp details, and no signs of wear. It was submitted to a top coin grading service, which gave it one of the highest possible grades for a circulation coin. That immediately set off alarms in the coin collecting community. How could a coin from a year with no mint sets and almost no uncirculated examples be preserved so perfectly? Collectors and dealers began paying close attention. Bidding wars began, and eventually, due to its condition, rarity, and historical importance, this specific 1982 P quarter reached a value of over $1.5 million. Let's talk about why that number makes sense in the world of numismatics. The value of a coin is based on four key factors: rarity, condition, historical significance, and demand. The 1982 P checks all four boxes. It's rare because there were no official mint sets. It's historically significant because of the unique minting circumstances of the early 1980s. Its condition was nearly flawless, graded at the highest levels. And the demand came from collectors who knew how impossible it was to find a coin like this. What should you look for if you think you might have a valuable 1982 P quarter? First, check the date. You're looking for 1982. Then look to the right of Washington's portrait for the P mint mark, which means it was minted in Philadelphia. Next, examine the coin's overall appearance. The valuable versions of this quarter are ones that appear almost brand new, with a sharp strike and little or no signs of wear. If the details of Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the back are incredibly sharp and there's strong luster to the coin, you might have something special. Also be on the lookout for any possible errors. Some rare versions of the 1982 P quarter have been found with double die errors, where parts of the coin's design appear to be doubled. These can dramatically increase a coin's value, especially when combined with excellent condition. But if you think you've got a coin that looks rare, don't handle it with bare hands, and definitely don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can damage the surface and instantly destroy its value. Instead, place it in a soft holder or coin flip and contact a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can verify the coin's authenticity, determine if any errors are present, and assign it a grade that directly affects its market value. Even if your coin doesn't hit the $1 million mark, there's still good news. Some 1982 P quarters in great condition or with small mint errors have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Not bad for something that might be sitting in your pocket change right now. The bottom line is this: the 1982 P Washington quarter is one of the most fascinating modern coins in American history. Born in a time of economic change, struck without mint sets, and now hunted by collectors around the world, this coin has become a legend. And the fact that one example sold for $1.5 million proves that treasure can still be found in the most ordinary places. Check your coins. Look closely. That quarter you're about to spend on a soda might just be worth more than a luxury car, a down payment on a house, or in the rarest cases, $1 million fortune. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mysterious and valuable world of the 1982 P quarter, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more stories about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the fascinating history behind the money we carry every day. Share this video with your friends and family too. You never know, someone close to you could be sitting on a life-changing discovery. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and happy collecting. Let me know if you'd like this adapted into a short version, formatted for YouTube captions, or turned into a script with on-screen visual suggestions. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we are diving into one of the most unexpected stories in the world of coin collecting. You might want to check your pocket change after this because we're talking about the 1997 D Washington quarter. Yes, the same coin that has been sitting in car cup holders and couch cushions across the country could actually be worth a small fortune. In fact, there is one 1997 D quarter that has stunned collectors by reaching an eye-popping value of $1.3 million. That's right, a single 25-cent coin valued at over $1 million. How does something like this even happen? How does a common quarter turn into a collector's dream? Let's break it all down. The history, the minting process, and what makes the 1997 D quarter so incredibly special and rare. To understand the value of the 1997 D quarter, we need to look at the history of the Washington quarter series. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 as a commemorative coin to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. It featured a portrait of Washington on the obverse side and an eagle on the reverse. This original design remained in circulation all the way until 1998, just 1 year after the 1997 D was minted. So the 1997 D quarter represents one of the final years of this classic eagle-back design before the state quarters program began in 1999. Now let's talk about the 1997 D mint mark. The D stands for Denver, where the coin was produced. Denver struck hundreds of millions of quarters that year, so on the surface, there's nothing rare about the coin itself. But what makes a tiny number of these coins worth an absolute fortune is what happened during the minting process. We are talking about mint errors, the accidental quirks and flaws that slip through the cracks and become prized possessions for collectors. Point 1 Such 1997 D Washington quarter was discovered to have a combination of extremely rare mint errors. This particular coin had multiple striking issues that made it a one-of-a-kind piece. We're talking about things like double die errors, off-center strikes, and planchet anomalies, all combined into one coin. It was also found in near-perfect condition, which made its rarity even more significant. When this coin showed up at a high-profile auction, it drew massive attention and ultimately sold for an incredible $1.3 million. What made that coin so valuable was not just the errors alone, but the condition, the rarity, and the fact that it was authenticated and graded at a very high level by a professional coin grading service. The combination of these factors is what turns a regular quarter into a $1 million coin. But here's the big question. How do you know if you have a valuable 1997 D Washington quarter? First, check the date and mint mark. Look for the year 1997 and the D mint mark, which appears just to the right of Washington's ponytail. That's the basic starting point. Next, inspect the coin carefully for any signs of errors. Some things to look for include doubled lettering, missing elements in the design, off-center images, or anything that looks unusual compared to a standard quarter. Use a magnifying glass or coin loop to get a closer look. Pay special attention to the words Liberty and In God We Trust on the front, as well as the eagle's feathers and lettering on the back. Also, check the edges of the coin. Missing reading, which is the little ridged texture around the edge, can be a sign of a planchet error. Any unusual shape, thickness, or color could also be a clue that something's different. Now, if you think you have something rare, don't clean it and don't try to fix it. Handling or altering the coin could reduce its value significantly. Instead, place it in a coin holder or soft cloth and contact a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate the coin, determine the type of error, and assign it an official grade. That's the first real step toward knowing what your coin might be worth. Even if your coin isn't the $1 million version, don't be discouraged. Some 1997 D quarters with minor errors or in uncirculated condition can still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The coin collecting world is full of surprises, and it's not just about having the rarest coin. It's about knowing what to look for and staying curious. There's also something nostalgic and exciting about hunting for treasures in everyday life. That's the beauty of coin collecting. It's a hobby that's educational, thrilling, and sometimes even profitable. Just imagine finding a coin worth $1.3 million in your pocket change. It sounds like a fantasy, but for a lucky few, it has actually become reality. The next time you get a handful of change at the store, take a second look at those quarters. You never know. That 1997 D coin you're holding could be the one that changes your life forever. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most surprising stories in American coin history. If you found this video interesting, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more coin facts, hidden treasures, and historical deep dives, and share this video with your friends and family. Someone out there might be holding on to a small fortune without even knowing it. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and who knows, you might just be the next person to find a $1 million coin in your change. Let me know if you'd like a version with on-screen visual suggestions, background music recommendations, or title and thumbnail ideas for YouTube. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you've ever had a jar full of coins sitting in your kitchen or car, you might want to check it again. Because one of the most common coins in the United States, the Washington quarter, minted in 1992 at the Denver Mint, is making headlines in the coin collecting world. And believe it or not, one of these quarters sold for as much as $1.4 million. That's right, a simple 25-cent coin fetching over $1 million. Today, we're diving deep into the story behind the 1992 D Washington quarter, what makes it so valuable, and how you can tell if you might have one of these rare treasures hiding in your change. Let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, originally to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Since then, it's become one of the most recognizable coins in circulation. Over the decades, there have been many changes in design, metal composition, minting locations, and more. But something unusual happened in 1992 in 1992. The U.S. Mint struck billions of quarters as usual, including those at the Denver Mint. That's what the D in 1992, D stands for. Now, typically, quarters from the 1990s aren't worth more than their face value. They're too new and too common. But with the 1992 D Washington quarter, there's a twist. A rare mint error occurred, and it's one of the most fascinating in modern U.S. coin history. What exactly happened with the 1992 D quarter that made it worth over $1 million? To understand that, you need to know about something called the close AM variety. The reverse side of the quarter, that's the tails side, normally shows the words United States of America and quarter dollar circling the majestic image of an eagle. But in the case of some 1992 quarters, including the Lincoln cent that year, the mint mistakenly used a reverse die mint for a proof coin instead of a regular business strike coin. Now you might be asking, what's a proof coin? Proofs are special coins made with extra care and detail. They're not meant for circulation and are usually sold to collectors. They have sharper details, shinier finishes, and sometimes even different spacing in the lettering. That's exactly what happened here. A proof reverse die was used to strike some regular circulation quarters. This created an extremely rare variety, a 1992 D Washington quarter with proof-like details and design elements never intended for the public. Collectors started noticing these oddities years later, realizing that something wasn't quite right with certain 1992 quarters. The details on the eagle were unusually sharp. The spacing and font style in the lettering looked different. And slowly, word got out. The 1992 D quarter with this error was extremely rare. Some experts believe there may be fewer than a dozen in existence. Fast forward to a high-stakes coin auction, where a pristine, gem-quality example of this rare 1992 D quarter crossed the auction block. Graded by one of the top coin grading companies, and we're talking about a near-perfect grade, like MS 68 or MS 69. This tiny piece of copper and nickel went for the unimaginable price of $1.4 million. Let that sink in. From someone's pocket or coin jar to millionaire status. What should you be looking for? First, check the date. You want a 1992 quarter with a D mint mark. That mint mark will appear just to the right of Washington's ponytail, just above the year. That tells you it was made at the Denver Mint. Second, you need to look very closely at the reverse. Again, the back of the coin. You're looking for any signs that it was struck with a proof die. That means sharper details, tighter spacing in the lettering, and perhaps most importantly, differences that don't match your typical quarter from that year. If you think you have something that looks off, don't try to clean it. Don't scratch it. Don't even handle it more than necessary. Put it in a soft holder or flip and get it to a professional coin grader or reputable dealer. Coin grading companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate the coin and determine its condition, which is a huge factor in its value. Now, before you start turning over every coin in your house, let me be clear. These million-dollar quarters are extremely rare. We're talking about fewer than a handful known to exist. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't look. Many of the greatest coin discoveries in history were found by ordinary people just like you. Going through pocket change, checking coin rolls from the bank, or just paying a little more attention to what passes through their hands. Even if you don't find the million-dollar version, some 1992 D quarters in pristine uncirculated condition can still be worth a few $100s or more. And coin collecting in general can be a fun and rewarding hobby, both intellectually and financially. Next time you get change from the store or clean out your car, take a second and check your quarters. You never know. You could be holding a piece of American history worth over $1 million. Thanks for watching. If you found T-Hi-Hi's video interesting, informative, or maybe even a little inspiring, hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing coin stories, and share this video with your friends and family. Who knows, maybe one of them has a 1992 D treasure and doesn't even know it. See you in the next one, and happy hunting. Let me know if you'd like this adapted into a shorter version or formatted for video captions, blog post, or even paired with on-screen visuals or thumbnails. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're about to explore one of the most surprising stories in modern American coinage. We're talking about the 1998 P. Washington quarter, a coin most people see as just spare change, something tossed into a vending machine or dropped in a tip jar. But in a twist that shocked collectors everywhere, one specific 1998 P quarter made headlines when it was valued at over $1.2 million. That's right, a simple quarter worth more than most luxury cars, more than many homes, and more than a lifetime of pocket change. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into the 1998 P. Washington quarter. We'll cover its history, its design, the reasons why most are worth just face value, and why a rare version of this coin became one of the most valuable modern quarters ever recorded. We'll also talk about what to look for and how to know if you might have one of these rare and valuable coins in your own collection. Let's start with a bit of background. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932. Originally released to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the design features his portrait on the obverse, and, up until 1998, an eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. That reverse design was about to be retired forever, which makes the 1998 quarter a significant coin in American history. Why? Because it was the final year before the launch of the 50-state quarters program that began in 1999. That change in design marks 1998 as a turning point. It's the last time we'd see the classic eagle-back design before it was replaced by rotating state designs that would go on to become one of the most popular coin programs ever created. Now, the 1998 P quarter was minted in Philadelphia, which is what the P stands for. In that year, the Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of these coins for circulation. So in terms of sheer numbers, the 1998 P isn't rare. In fact, it's quite common. But among all those millions, a few coins were struck with unusual mint errors or found in such pristine condition that they have become legendary. One of those legendary examples was a 1998 P. Washington quarter that turned up at a coin show several years ago. What set this coin apart was not just its condition, which was nearly flawless, but a combination of rare characteristics that made it truly one of a kind. This particular coin had an extraordinary double die obverse, meaning the design on the front of the coin had been struck twice, slightly offset, resulting in clear and noticeable doubling in the letters and numbers. The doubling was especially visible in the word liberty and in the motto, "In God We Trust." These types of errors are highly prized by collectors, especially when they are dramatic and easily seen without a microscope. But that wasn't all. This coin was also found in an almost perfect state of preservation. It had never been circulated, never handled without protection, and still had its original mint luster. When it was submitted to a professional coin grading service, it received one of the highest possible grades for a business strike coin, which is extremely rare for a modern quarter. That combination of factors, a rare and dramatic error, perfect condition, and the historical significance of being from the final year of the original design, sent this coin's value through the roof. When it finally changed hands at a private auction, it sold for an unbelievable $1.2 million. A single quarter, originally worth just 25 cents, now a seven-figure treasure. So how can you tell if your 1998 P quarter is valuable? First, check the mint mark. It should have a small P to the right of Washington's ponytail. That tells you it was minted in Philadelphia. Next, examine the front of the coin very closely. Look for signs of doubling, especially in the letters of the word liberty and in the date. If you see clear doubling with the naked eye or under a basic magnifying glass, that could be a sign of a double die error. Also, pay close attention to the condition of the coin. Most quarters from 1998 have been through years of wear and tear. But if yours looks unusually sharp, shiny, or untouched, it could be worth sending to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Coins in mint state condition, especially with strong strike and no wear, are much more valuable to collectors. Another tip is to weigh your coin. A standard 1998 P quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If it weighs significantly more or less, it could have been struck on the wrong planchet. which is another type of mint error that can increase a coin's value dramatically. And don't forget to check the reverse of the coin too. While most of the attention goes to the obverse and the mint mark, some rare varieties involve changes or anomalies on the eagle side as well. Whether it's die cracks, off-center strikes, missing details, or other oddities, every part of the coin matters. If you think you have a rare or valuable coin, protect it. Do not clean it. Do not scratch it. Place it in a soft cloth or coin flip and take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a professional grading company. They can confirm whether you've got a rare variety and help you determine what it might be worth. Even if you don't have the million-dollar version, 1998, P quarters with minor errors or in uncirculated condition have been known to sell for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. And that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. The idea that something so small, so overlooked, could hold such massive value that it's a reminder that treasures can still be found in everyday life. Sometimes they're sitting in a drawer, hiding in a coin jar, or tucked inside a collection passed down from a relative. And sometimes, all it takes is a closer look to turn pocket change into a fortune. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to learn more about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the secrets behind the coins we use every day, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Share this with your friends and family too. You never know who might have a fortune sitting in their wallet. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and happy hunting. Would you like help writing the title, description, and tags for the video, or ideas for a YouTube thumbnail that matches this script?